and you are the one our hearts adore. And Jesus, we love you, and oh how we love you, and you are the one our hearts adore. Hopeless have found their home, the orphans now have a home. All that was lost has found its place in you, and you lift our weary heads, and you make us strong. Instead, you cause your Son made us beautiful for all you've done, for all that you've done. We will pour out our love. This will be our anthem song. And Jesus, we love you, and oh how we love you, and you are the one our hearts adore. And Jesus, we love you, and oh how we love you, and you are the one our hearts adore. Our hearts adore. Our hearts adore. And our affection, our devotion, poured out on the feet of Jesus. Our affection, our devotion, poured out on the feet of Jesus. And our affection, our devotion, poured out on the feet of Jesus. Our hearts adore. Jesus, we love you, and oh how we love you. You are the one our hearts adore. Our hearts adore. Jesus, we love you. Come on, sing it out, lift your voice. Oh, how we love you, and you are the one our hearts adore. And Jesus, we love you, and oh, how we love you, and you are the one In the Savior's love, I find joy beyond compare. In this peace covers all of me. When I breathe you came and made a home. You bring light to the dark in me. When I lose my way, I am beckoned into grace. You alone are my everything. Your love brings me to my knees, brings me to my knees. My King forever, and you are all my heart desires till the end of time. My soul surrenders. And all the earth's of mercy never ending, and I will worship with all that is within me. Holy, holy, Lord God Almighty, King of heaven, yours is the glory. All the earth's of mercy never ending, I will worship with all that is within me. And holy, holy, Lord God Almighty, King of heaven, yours is the glory. Your love brings me to my knees, brings me to my knees. My King forever, you are all my heart desires till the end of time. My soul surrenders. Your love one time. And your love brings me to my knees, brings me to my knees. My King forever, and you are all my heart desires till the end of time. My soul surrenders. Love you, Jesus. We ask that you would just rest in this place. God, soften our hearts, prepare our hearts for the word tonight. Speak to us tonight, Jesus. Amen. You guys can be seated.
I'm live on YouTube with one viewer.
I'm going to be doing some light tonight. guys ever had a moment when someone's trying to explain to you something that they've experienced and you've never experienced it? And you're like, I don't really get it. Anybody had that moment? Someone's just like, oh yeah, just score the winning shot. It's like this. I'm like, awesome. I hear what you're saying, but never done it, so I don't get it. See, for some people in here, that's what it's going to be like when I talk about God and my relationship with Him. Because for some of you, it's not real. Because you see, when your relationship with God is real, it's not just going to church. It's when you talk to Him every day. It's when you learn to trust Him. It's when you know you mess up and you can still go to Him as you are because He still loves you. And that relationship is so amazing. I can't even begin to describe how it'll change your life. And for those of you who have that relationship, you know what I'm talking about. Because you see, Speed the Light is giving so that missionaries can reach more people. So that more people can have that relationship. If you don't have that relationship, I don't know why you give. But why I give is because I have a Father in heaven who is with me every step of the way through my entire life. Everything that I've gone through, He's been there for me. When I spend time with Him, I don't have to be all fixed up. And when we give to Speed the Light, that no matter where you end up in life, you are still loved by Him, passionately loved by Him. And that's why I give to Speed the Light. So that more people, just like us, can hear about a God that truly loves. Pastor, if you want to come forward. Father God, you know that we've all set different goals and that we want to give and that sometimes it's really exciting to give. But God, I pray that when we give, you would really place on our heart the true reason why we give. It's so that other people can have a relationship with you. It's so that there will no longer be hopeless people. That there will no longer be people that think that they aren't loved. So that everyone can know what it is to be unconditionally loved. What it is to not have to be perfect. What it is to not have to be what somebody else likes. What it is to just be them and be accepted as they are by you, God. I pray that you would bless this offering, even if it's just $1. Because our heart is to reach people. May our heart be your heart, God. You want everyone to have that relationship with you. You want everyone to put their burdens on you and not carry them themselves. God, I ask you to bless this offering. In Jesus' name.
Put it in the hat.
All right.
Wonderful.
As the buckets are passing you, I would like to introduce our speaker
Much
for the
comfier.
night. Everybody give it up for Ben.
Woo! Oh God, glare. Glare, 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 glare. It's enough glare. Oh no, copyright. Frick.
This video is fun, but it's been bumming us out ever since we got here today.
Darkness. Black.
Oh, you got it?
I just guessed the voice, the my voice in the microphone.
No, we're not. Everyone up.
They broke it. Dude, not funny.
Dude, this is awesome. We got an awesome team up top taking care of it, though. If they can't do it, nobody can do it. So.
I gotta move in a better spot so I can get. I don't have my arm on the shooting a lot, so I gotta move. Get a better view too. Freaking glare.
Well, guys, welcome
I give up.
for now to week 3 of our Superheroes Super Series. You guys liking this so far? Yeah. Fun? All right, hey. I've had a blast with this so far. And when Pastor Billy got me about 2 months ago, and he oh, it's loud in here. Shh. When Pastor Billy got me about 2 months ago, he told me we're going to be doing a series. It's going to be on superheroes. I leaned in. He said, I want you to do like the environment stuff. So I want you, to set up the room. I want you to set up the staging and like all the visuals and stuff. I leaned in more. He said, I want you to speak a couple of times. And just as soon as he was done, the first thing that went through my mind is... So, big round table in the room. We're going to have chairs all around it. This is going to be the Hall of Justice. We're all sitting at this table. We're all the superheroes. And again, budget. Gosh, everything has to be money. All right, so I've got like every superhero movie that's come out since like Spider-Man from like 90s and 2000. Oh, screen.
Copyrighted so badly. Mute. Go, wrong button.
Batman is singularly the best comic book hero in history. Who's my Bat fan right now? Who is it? Yeah? I got a big room. You can tell those are comic book panels. We've got our DC and we've got our Marvel posters. Like, I loved them as soon as I saw them, and the two of us just got to work. We couldn't wait because we wanted to make this some seriously cool stuff. So, yeah, so now we have our series going. We're on week 3, and I'm glad you guys are all here for that. So, obviously tonight we're talking about Aquaman. No, Superman. I don't know if anyone's taking Aquaman. I would be very interested to see what we come up with that. But we've got tonight. Our guy is Batman, and it wasn't always Batman for me, but for me, as soon as I saw in 1992 was called Batman the Animated Series, and I was hooked. This was the hype of 1992 when I was a kid. How old was I? I'm not going to do the math. no show was like this because it had action. It was really, and it wasn't like the 1966 silly Batman, even though it was like the silver and blue. It was, you know, it was serious and it was lighthearted and so helped me. Like they had some really serious themes for a cartoon in the 90s. Like they were talking about the humanity of psychopaths, and they had one on like, do machines have a soul and stuff like that. It was like, this was a serious and really good show, so I was hooked. He has a serious history. His first appearance was in Detective Comics number 27 in May of 1939. That was a while ago. That's a big history. I could talk, there's fully hundreds of publications in comics and magazines, so I'm not even going to bother even trying to get that. It's ongoing, and it's huge. And television, it started in 1943 with a TV show for 15 episodes. It was a black and white. It's called An Evening with Batman and Robin. It had this kind of Sherlock Holmes sort of feel to it. And it's been, you know, going slowly until about the 90s with Batman the Animated Series, then New Batman Adventures, then Batman Beyond, and there were so many cartoons to follow that. We still have Gotham, done by Fox. It was started in 2014. It's still going. Since 1943, in 75 years, he has been featured in more than 30 television shows.
And say church line.
In movies, of course, we've got Batman, the movie, 1966. This was starring TV's Adam West. This was the kind of silly, you know, silver and blue Batman that everyone kind of knows about, where you get like the bow, pam, pow, bam words. They're awesome. Sound effects and, you know, all this kind of, the jokes we have about Batman. Then Tim Burton gave us Batman, and then Batman Returns. Then Joel Schumacher gave us Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. If you ever want a good laugh at something that was supposed to be serious, watch these. Because he almost completely bombed Batman out of movies forever. Until Christopher Nolan picked him up, and then we had the Dark Knight series. Oh yeah, I'm so glad. It was a neat take because they actually took this larger-than-life superhero and made him, how would this work in like a modern era that could actually happen? And it was so intriguing.
Don't have one in there.
But that's just the live-action stuff. There were so many animated films as well that started after Batman the Animated Series that actually launched an entire division of DC for animation. And since 1994, I want to say, we have had 32 animated films under Warner Brothers and DC Animation.
What's your phone number? I can send it to you.
I don't think any of the superheroes had this many iterations of himself. Again, Batman is the GOAT. Argue with me sometime. Not right now. I'll get sidetracked and then we'll just be done and you'll be sitting here for like 2 hours and I don't want that. So my wife is like nodding her head just like and shaking it at the same time. All right, so quick summary. I'm pretty sure everyone knows him, but I'm just going to broach this really quick. His real name is Bruce Wayne, the son of billionaire and business moguls Thomas and Martha Wayne.
Then go to this.
Was with them when they were shot and killed over just some cash and jewelry by some small-time gang lord, not even a lord, he was like a small-time lieutenant named Joe Chill. And since he saw it in front of his eyes and that really stuck with him, he spent all of his life studying criminology and studying crime fighter methods, and among all of his peers now, we joke all the time, like what's Batman's superpower?
Money.
We say money all the time, and it's hilarious because he's got cash. He's like, I think he's easily in the top 10 like richest comic book character ever. But for all the money that he has, I would honestly argue that it's not his money that's his superpower. In the time leading up to him becoming Batman, he learned a seriously huge skill set, a mastery of all known forms of martial arts. He's functional in 25 languages, including throwing arts, tactical analysis, survival, negotiation, camouflage, acting, cryptology, and lots more. So why would somebody know all of this junk? Who would? And don't say because he's Batman. That's so easy, but don't say that. See, we joke about his power being money, but you don't buy that stuff with money. You don't buy all that knowledge with money. You don't just learn all that stuff with money. It takes a serious tenacity. What's loud in here? What? It just got loud while I was talking. It takes so much more than money. Like, his superpower, he has money. I would contend that his superpower for sure is his determination and his tenacity. He wanted to learn this stuff. He needed to be the best because the world around him was growing. Stuff was getting more difficult, but he had to maintain his discipline. He had to fulfill his mission of keeping people in Gotham safe. So, this is one of the things that still like enamors me the most about Batman. Is like, he doesn't just have powers so everything is just kind of easy for him to do. It's not easy for him to do. And I just have love for all this time that I've been, watching Batman stuff. I've just loved watching him do what he does. So this is just a small selection of some of my favorites.
Can you find this?
Did it? Oh, okay, I missed it. Volume?
Don't make me move my mic.
Plenty of volume.
Someone forgot to take their true blood tonight.
ring off of the Green
That's why
Lantern's
my
finger
mic
without him noticing. Engage is the guy who can barehandedly pick apart the Man of Steel. Engage is the Man of Steel himself. Picks a fight with a room of 25 armed guys. How do you do stuff like this with money? This guy has determination. It's pure determination. He's made a decision and he chased it down. In 1 Corinthians 9:27, Paul writes, I discipline my body like an athlete, training it to do what it should. And Philippians 3:14 says, I press on to reach the end of the race and receive the heavenly prize for which God, through Christ Jesus, is calling us. Or the language he's using, discipline, like an athlete. Anyone do running? It's the worst. I've always hated running. It just feels like torture. It just feels like fast torture, and then slow torture, and then really slow torture, and then gasping for air torture. It's discipline. You teach yourself to do the stuff that you don't want to do, so that the time comes to do the stuff that you don't want to do, you can do it. I press, I reach. These are, again, straining words. Like it's not easy. If a workout were easy, we'd all be ripped, right? We'd all be in great shape. But this stuff's not easy. But Paul, he's talking about this stuff. This is what I do to make sure that I stay in great shape. And he's also using this metaphor spiritually. I do what I can to make sure that I stay in great shape. I want to talk tonight because we're talking about superheroes and the ways in which you in your own lives are super. Because we're all called to something, right? We're all called for one thing. Whether we actually go into life for full-time ministry, or we go and do welding, or if we're going to be doing a service desk, or whatever it is that we're going to be doing in life, we still have one same core mission. It's the same with our guy here, Batman, of course. He's got his own mission. He's gonna take care of the fear and the crime in Gotham. But in order to do that, he can't do that. He can't complete that task unless he's practicing conditioning and he remains determined. It's the same as us. See, our message, our mission, all of us, it's everyone in here who knows Christ. Our mission is the same. It's to spread the word of the love of God through Christ. Right? See, we all have this thing, and we talk about Jesus. We talk about it like it's like it's every day to us, and we know it. We know who most of us in here know who Christ is. But that mission, that there are so many people who don't. Fully billions of people in this world who don't know who Christ is, who don't know who God is. They think they've heard of him. Might have heard of him, might have heard some versions of him. There are so many religions in the world that talk about a God who is just and a God who is holy. There are versions of God that talk about him like he's sitting and waiting for people to screw up and then smash him. There are versions of God that just don't care about the world. They made it and then they just kind of left it alone. But that's not the kind of God that we're talking about. That's not the kind of God that we serve. That's not the kind of God that we have. See, we have a God who made humanity, who observed a problem with humanity, that we have sin, that we have something in us, this will of ours, that often just kind of pushes against God, that kind of pushes God away, that doesn't want having anything to do with him because, frankly, he gets in the way of our fun, is what it feels like. We feel like he's just getting in the way of our fun. So he sees this problem and he does something about it. And a lot of the times we look at this and say, if he's really all wise and he's really all powerful, then why all the fanfare? Why all this big deal about Jesus? Why all this stuff? If he can do everything, then just reconcile us. But instead of some deistic this quick fixer-upper, he instead engaged the greatest living love story of all time. See, that's who Jesus is. Instead of just saying, okay, boop, fixed, and now we go, he said, no. I want you guys to know how much I love you. I want you to know how much I love you. And so he bankrupted heaven. He sent the glory of heaven. He sent his own Son. We need to condition ourselves. Condition ourselves for the mission. And I don't want to try to, rhyme words with that one because that sounds corny. Condition, mission, But we need to condition ourselves for this job that we have, right? So that's what I want to talk about tonight, conditioning and determination. One way that you can condition is regular prayer. Prayer helps us by connecting to God. So he's the source of our purpose, right? This mission that we have, this thing that we're to go do, he's the source of it. For whatever reason, think about that person, right? Go ahead, just get that person. Don't squeeze that person in your mind. Just hold that person in your mind for a second. And think about this. I dare you, actually. I dare you. Pray for that person. Just take a month. God, I pray for a quick and speedy healing for his nose because I'm going to break it the next time he talks to me. No, not those kinds of prayers.
I do it.
Actually, pray for him like you're praying for your mom. Pray for her like you're praying for your grandma. Who can hate their grandma? If you actually hate your grandma, then you may need some prayer as well. I know my grandmas, like, they were the sweetest people ever. I just can't wrap my mind around. But someone that you genuinely care about. And pray for them as though there's someone you genuinely care about. I hope something really nice, God, let something really nice happen for them. Send somebody by to just lift them up today. God, just send them an amazing blessing for their day. God, send them some joy for their day. And see, after a month of that, see what happens. See, when we pray, we start connecting with the mind of God, we start connecting with the heart of God. And we'll begin seeing people the way that God sees people. We'll begin seeing situations the way that God sees situations. Changes our minds, changes our attitudes. It sets us up for the kind of person that we were meant to be because we're connecting with our purpose. Prayer conditions prayer as a response to our situations. It's kind of one of those, the more I do something, the more I do it kind of things. It's habit forming. The more I pray, the more regularly I pray, the more prayer becomes a regular response to my situations. I don't have to freak out anymore for hours on end and then go, okay, maybe I should be praying about this. Stuff can go south and immediately, oh, Lord, give me strength. And then immediately I'm into prayer. Immediately I'm into connecting with the person who can help me contextualize and frame the situation that I'm in. Because stuff isn't, we don't have situations in our lives that are meant to break us. We're not meant to be broken. We're meant to be. What matters, we're focused on who has us taken care of, and that's God. So that's prayer. Regular study. This is another one of those, the more I do something, the more I do it kind of situations. Take some time to study. Study your Bible. Put your phone down, leave it in a different room, if you trust people in your house that way. Or just put it somewhere that you're just not gonna, no, I don't. Find somewhere in your house, find somewhere near you that you trust yourself not to just reach for it. Take some time to study and read for comprehension. Didn't understand something? Read it again. Didn't understand something? Read it again. Look, I would love to actually just do like a workshop sometime on Bible study methods. Just do a... How's it going, guys?
Yeah.
When we're reading in the Bible, we really are reading ancient languages, and that's like ancient literature, and that really is kind of difficult to get. And I understand that too, But we are meant to understand this. So if you don't understand something, please, and this is a very serious, begging type of please. Ask Pastor Billy his thoughts on what you just read. Ask one of your leaders. Ask Devin. Ask Jeff. Samantha back there, she would eat this up. She absolutely loves the Bible, and you would make her day. Make her day if you came and asked about them. You'd make my day, in fact, because I love it too. Well, the two of us would probably, we'd get into it. Make sure that you understand this stuff, because it's important. It's transformative. The more reading is transformative to our understanding. The Bible, doubly so, because we're meant to be enriched by this. See, the more you read from somebody else's attitudes, the more of their attitudes you tend to pick up. So what if we're reading from God's hand? We start picking up more of his attitudes as well. Another reason is the Bible is clear revelation. You ever had these times when you're praying or just through your day and you get these thoughts, and they're neat thoughts, and you think it's God, or you think it might be God, but you're not really sure? And you feel like you... Now, I don't say this to make sure that you guys are dependent on some cult mentality. That's not why I say this. I know there's a lot of cynical people who see church as some kind of dependency clinic. There was a guy who started, he was a new believer, and he started going to church, and he'd been there for a few months, and he's just going. And he's just going. And after a little while, the pastor noticed that he began to kind of fall off. He'd miss a week or two, and then a couple weeks on end, and then he'd just be gone. And then he was just gone. So he gives him a call. He says, "Hey, how you doing? This is the pastor, and I've just been wondering how your life is going. How's everything been going with you? Are you doing all right?
5 million people watching.
We haven't seen you in a while." And the guy responds, "Pastor, I appreciate the call. This is fantastic. It's like my life has been going pretty well, but as for why I'm not in church right now, I just honestly, Pastor, I don't really believe that you have to go to church to be a Christian." And the pastor
They're blowing up my comments of who the frick
I haven't seen you in a while. Honestly, for real, I miss seeing you. So what are you doing this Friday night? Would you be free to come over and have dinner at my house? And he's actually free that Friday night, so he comes over and have dinner, some conversation, talking about life and talking about sports and talking about the stuff you talk about here. And they finish, and then they go to the living room, and they're talking some more. And the two of them are just sitting right in front of the fireplace. They continue talking, and the pastor asks again, "So you'd said something." Listening to him, he grabs a poker and starts playing with the fire a little bit while he's listening. He's like, "Pastor, I know I can pray at home. I can read my Bible at home, right? I've got Spotify. I can worship at home.
I can't watch my live stream.
I can do all of that at home. I don't have to. Unless something's going really bad, I can use some support, I guess. I don't really have to go to church to be a Christian, do I?" And the pastor continues like, "Yeah, no, I hear that. You're right. You can do all that at home." And he grabs the tongs. You really should. You should worship at home, and you should read your Bible at home. You should be praying at home. And then he gets into the fire again, and he picks up an ember out of the fire. He places it on the stone in front of the fireplace. But I'd like you to consider something. Puts the tongs back. Looks at him. And then he just keeps watching the ember. And the man is just kind of a little bit impatient. He's not too sure what he's watching. He's like, So what do you think? Keep watching. So he motions back to the ember, and they continue watching as the ember sits there on the stone. And the ember, when he pulled it out, it was red hot. But as they continue watching the ember, it begins to cool. It begins to cool. It begins to cool. And what was bright red is now to be fire. It needs fuel, it needs oxygen, and it needs energy. That one ember on its own had all the three things that it needed to be on fire for a time. But as the energy continued to consume the fuel that was that piece of ember, suddenly something was missing. And then there was no energy to trade. It wasn't around other things that were burning. And inevitably, slowly that it may have been, the fire was gone. Now, this isn't really a discipline. It's kind of more like a habit, but it really needs to be prioritized because there's some people that really don't understand this one. We don't talk about this as much as we want to because we do want you to go to church and we're super happy that you're here. We really are. And we don't want to feel needy, like we're begging you to come back and please come back and join us. We want you to understand the more you're with people who are going the direction you want to go, the less likely you are the way that you live. Do not give in to your sinful desires. I would like John. Where's John? What? There you are. Hey, John, I'd like Colin to come up here and help me with something. What is that?
I was saying we're sitting in the seat.
Oh, okay. He was over here earlier, and I didn't see him sitting over there. That's way over here.
Do you have
Okay.
your phone?
I asked John and Colin if they wouldn't mind helping me with something today. What we are going to do is we're going to have an arm wrestling contest. Oh, yeah. All right. I'm glad they didn't bomb right off the jump.
Oh, no.
All right. Who do you think's going to win? Who thinks John's going to win? Such quiet hands. Come on, man. Who's? Come on. No sound. Come on. Who thinks Colin's going to win? Yeah. You're not supposed to think you can win.
I think
Oh, okay. All right. I hear you. No. Right here. Over here. All right. So you know the rules, right? Both facing each other. He's getting ready. Shirt's coming off. Gotta see you neck.
Well,
Can't tell.
All right. Elbows on the table. Only one hand. Who do you think's got it? Who do you think's got it? All right. Let's go. Ready? Ready? Go! Oh, wait, you're getting on the head start. Let's go. Let's go. All right. All right. You want to hold the other end of the table? They're going to knock this over. I know. All right, are you ready? Right, yeah? Let's go. Let's go. Oh! What?
I feel like you gave it
Colin gave up.
What? You did.
He gave up. Do it again. He gave up.
Did you give up?
I'm actually live, dude.
You what?
I didn't give up.
Did you blink?
Do it again.
Okay. You know what? That's alright.
No one's watching.
That's alright. You know what's funny is like everyone wants to see it again because like you were all like upset that he lost.
He gave up.
No one saw that coming.
It's like this.
You weren't upset. No, you weren't. All right, so
That was your fault.
all right, so John, you won. Did you prepare for this any?
Winner.
No.
Did you get ready? You didn't prepare at all for this.
Not like, maybe like in my mind.
Like in your mind, okay.
I was like saying,
So no pressure then.
Because YouTube so I hit
No, how about you? Did you prepare any for this? No, you didn't prepare either.
Because you're the
That's
one
alright.
that
That's alright. This is just an illustration. It's like you've all done arm wrestling before. But here's an important question that I have for you, Colin. Did you let him win? Did you talk? You didn't let him win?
Yeah, you did. You were.
No, so I don't really think he did.
Well, church.
That was like it was weird. Like he.
Now just true.
Well, honestly, if he was just playing and let him win, his arm would have gone down slowly. I think he like lost a grip or something like that. That happens. I know, but you know, I don't think he let him win. I really don't.
Hey, dude, search Dallas, I search.
Thanks, guys. Let's give him a hand.
I have to do the old one. Can I
Did you know that it's possible to give everything that you have, to do things absolutely perfectly, and still not win?
Yep, that's my whole life, really.
That's possible? You know, possible to give everything that you have, to not give in, and still lose. I noticed here that Paul didn't say, do not sin. He said, don't give in. Don't let it. Don't let it. Don't let it. See, there are those of us in this room that will resonate with me when I say that I have given everything that I've had against my sin. You know, the ones that kind of keep popping up when you least expect it? The ones that keep popping up when like you feel like life just is not very good. The ones that keep popping up when stuff sucks. You give everything that you have against them, and you still lose. I want you guys to understand that, like, failure to defeat sin is not a loss. The Bible doesn't define it that way. Because you're not supposed to defeat sin.
Turn off your sound.
If you could fix your relationship with God yourself,
I hit my
if you could be holy all on your own, then Christ would have died for absolutely nothing. He wouldn't have had to come at all. If you could do it yourself, then Jesus died for nothing. See, we get stuck so often on failure to succeed and miss the grace in the attempt. There is so much grace in the cross. There is so much grace in that. See, God's grace is most visible in our weakness, so we can continue in purpose, even after failure. Not because we failed, but because the grace of Jesus wins. But there's a key to this. Did you try? There are times when we actually we low-key, we actually want to sin, and so we let it happen, and then say, oh, darn, I screwed up again, and then we pray. Well, no, the grace doesn't apply to that. Grace doesn't apply to you embracing your sin. That's no determination at all. The grace applies to the try. The grace applies to the determination. There was one thing that I loved about Batman growing up my whole life, and this last scene here summarizes it very, very well.
It shows you.
Garbage and send him up to hell.
grow up to be someone someday, right?
Dude, you might want to check your phone.
We hope that,
Dude, I
we
still
grow
have
up,
1 subscriber.
and, one day we wake up and we're 18, and, we're all grown up, and it's time to, go out and pay bills, and it's time to, and we'll be the person that we always wanted to be, and that we'll have the responsibility that we always want, but it's not a magical thing. We don't wake up one day and we're responsible.
Dude, I've been on
We
this since he
don't wake up
started
one day and we're
singing.
disciplined. We don't wake up one day and we're the person we always want to be. The person that we are as adults is built and fortified
This viewer is
while we're this age now.
watch it just jump to one
Even
area.
in junior high. The person that you're going to grow up into, guys over here, I want you to listen. The person that we grow up into is decided by our decisions today. If there's someone you want to be when you grow up, start doing that now. Make the decisions to do that now. We can't all have superpowers, right? But we can decide how powerful our lives can be. It starts with the decisions we make. And I know there are a lot of students in this room that want to grow up to be powerful for the name of Christ. That want to change the world, to rock this planet with His grace and His love. But so rarely does that ever happen when we just wake up in a single moment. We know Christ. If there's someone that we always wanted to be, we start building those habits now. The habits that I form today will inform my character for tomorrow. The things that I do today, I will embrace tomorrow. So if there's something that I don't want to be, and if I'm determined to be the person that Christ has called me to be, I have no business even considering it. I let it happen today, I will embrace it tomorrow. There are no questions about that, because the stuff that I allow to happen will continue. If I let this stuff keep happening, if I let my sin own me, if I continue to be the person that just doesn't reach for Christ today, I will not be the person who reaches for Christ tomorrow. There are some in this room that don't know Christ yet. So this isn't necessarily talking to you as you are right now, but I hope and I pray on the daily that you will know Him someday. To know Him in His love. To know the power of the cross. To know that all of this, the stuff we're doing here tonight, was so you could know God better. He's not the guy waiting to smash you for screwing up. He's not the God who made you and then left you and abandoned you. He's not this interested God and, okay, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I hope I see you again someday. He broke into history. He bankrupted heaven so Christ could come to save you. It's not just a story. It is the greatest living love story of all time. And those of us who know Christ, whether we've known Him for years or we just got to know Him recently, our mission is to know Him better and make sure that He is coming. If you leave with anything tonight, if you hear nothing, let's get all eyes up here real quick. This is not about me. Special delivery. I don't care that I can speak anymore. Frankly, I'm awkward in real life. Y'all have seen me, I don't talk too much. Yet I love speaking up here. One, because I get to do something that I'm just not good at. But two, it's not me talking. So you know how talkative I'm not out there? It's because Christ is talking through me now. So you know that it's Christ talking to you. And hear me, hear Him when He says this. The decisions that I make today will be the decisions that I make for tomorrow, and I cannot allow myself to embrace the decisions that are not consistent with my calling. If I am finishing my mission, I am doing it while straining and reaching for Christ. To know Him better. To know His will better. To know His heart better. I can't put it off till tomorrow. I can't read my Bible tomorrow. I can read it now. I can. But then, if I let myself go down into that place, what happens? we are right now. Growth doesn't happen on its own. We can't operate in neutral and like put our salvation on the shelf and come and get it later. In a sense, it's a perishable product.
Low battery up there.
We don't put our growth to the side and come back to get it later. Ask anyone who works out. Any time someone's lifting, if you're not flexing a muscle, it atrophies. It doesn't grow anymore. It withers. We have to continue pushing. And we have to build the habits that are going to get us closer to Him. Let's pray. Jesus, I thank you so much, Lord, for what you've done for us. I thank you for the cross of Christ, that I could know you. Not hear about a God who made us and then is disinterested and lets us to our own devices, who breaks into history, who makes sure that we know Him, who makes sure that we know Him, who makes sure that we know Him over and over and over and over and over again. And in case there were any questions, He sends His Son so we could know Him. Over and over and over again, God, you revealed yourself. And I thank you so much that this is not just a story. It's about your love. And God, I pray that love changes us. And I pray that we seek lives where we can allow that love to reach us and continue changing us. God, I want you to change me. I want to stay as I am. I'm petty as I am. I'm small as I am. You made me for more, and I've got to have that. So tonight, Lord God, I choose that I will continue to reach and strain for you. I will form the habits that are going to get me closer to you. I will form the habits that are going to get me closer. Guys, if you're with me, say it with me. I will form the habits.
I will form the habits
that will get me closer to you.
to get me closer to you.
I will form the habits.
I will form the habits
that will get me closer to my mission.
I
will form the habits.
I will form the habits
that you made me to have. I thank you for tonight, Lord God, and I pray that may we all go forward knowing you better. I pray this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Give it up for me. Give it up.
Hey, your battery's about to die. I told you.
All right, I'm going to invite Heather up real quick if she would. She has something that she wants to bring
Come on,
to
I've
you
already
guys'
hit an hour and
attention.
30.
So everybody give it up for Heather.
Guys, how's it going?
Look at me, so comfy.
Good to see you guys. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Heather, and I have been a youth leader in this youth group for the past 6 years. However, this year I am not a youth leader. I'm currently working on the missions board at our church. And one of the things that we are wanting to do, and one of the things I've been wanting to do for a while is that God's doing it, is putting together opportunities where you guys can actually get involved in something, okay? And you know, Ben was talking, everything Ben said today was really good. But he was talking about the decisions that we make today affect us in tomorrow and the future when we come. And you know, it's just like when we're giving. You know, if you want to become a giver, or if you want to develop a heart of compassion, you know, that starts when you start giving to speed of life. You develop that in the choices that you make. And if you want to develop a heart of compassion, that is developed when you start responding to needs that you see, you know, whether that's at school or people around you. And I want to give you guys an opportunity. We have the opportunity to help the Pregnancy Resource Center in town. For those of you who know what that is, they help young people or adults, but people like yourselves that are pregnant. They help walk them through just the decision making that is happening at that time, everything that they're going through, everything that they're experiencing. They kind of try to counsel them, just make them aware of the options that we have, and that, you know, and obviously they are a pro-life organization, so they are hoping that these young people or adults will see that there's value in the life that is inside
remind you guys of 2 things. We have high school hangout this Sunday at 6 o'clock if you're in high school. Be here. Junior hires be here at the church at 2 o'clock on Sunday for flag football. Otherwise, we have Amy speaking next week. Everybody give it up for Amy. And we're going to have small groups. It's always fun having small groups and being able to connect with you guys a little bit deeper. Can't wait to see you guys next week.
Hey, one more announcement. Brock just farted. Hey, he just said one more announcement. Brock just farted. Say it.
I'm not saying.
I've been live streaming for an hour and 18 minutes.
Dang.
Yeah, since you've been talking.